Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome to today's webinar. Thank you for joining us. Tuesday, the 5th of May. Thank you so much for being here today with us. Today, we're looking at social media and how you can set up your business for Facebook and Instagram and get more followers from those platforms. So, hello, everybody. I'll just say hi really quickly before we get on with it. A few shout outs. Hi, Marie, Karen, Victoria. Good to see you. Deborah, Janet, Carol, few names I don't recognize in here. So it's good to see some of you. Some of you may have not been in these webinars yet. Thank you for joining us today. If you've not been in the webinars, first of all, where have you been? We've been doing webinars now since, where are we now? Lost days. Tuesday. We've been doing them since Wednesday last week. Yeah, Wednesday last week was the first webinar we did. And we covered Google listing and how you can optimize your own Google listing for free to get it found higher on the search engine. So what we call your Google My Business listing. So we showed you how to do that. We've got some more things to show you on that as we go along with the webinars. We then showed you how you can optimize your own website to get your website found higher. So not only your Google Map listing, but your website. And we showed you how to get more inquiries from your website as well. So we've been doing some really good webinars over these last few days, mainly around optimization of website and Google My Business. Today we're looking more at social media. And if social media isn't your thing, that's okay, completely understand. But we're going to show you what you could do otherwise if you're not using social media, how you can set up something quite basic, and how you can attract some business from social media. I don't know if Josh has got the number, but there's millions, if not billions of people, more than 1 billion, using Facebook and Instagram. Whether you're not a fan of social media, if you're not a fan of social media, that's completely understandable. But many of your customers or potential customers are using social media. So that's why it's important that we look at that today. Richard asks if the first webinar, if that's available. Yes, it is available. You would have got a link if you'd registered for the webinar. You may have got a link. If you missed the link, for everyone that wants to rewatch the webinars, don't worry, they're going up on YouTube. Is it today, Josh, that they're going up on YouTube? Oh, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. He'll have to just log in. What we're going to do, we're putting them on YouTube, and then we're going to send you all an email with those webinars straight on YouTube. So you will check your emails today. Keep checking them over the next day or two, and you will get a link to those webinars. So if you have missed them, don't worry. Okay, so Josh is on his way, and just whilst we wait for Josh, I just wanted to highlight the fact that we are a Facebook marketing partner, as well as a Google, Microsoft, Yahoo partner. We're the only company in the UK that has all of these partnerships. So that's quite a good position that we're in. And that's why we're doing these free webinars. That's why we're giving you this advice and the best practice stuff that you can do yourself. Now, like I say, if you don't use Facebook or Instagram, this is still worth a watch. We feel if you are using those platforms, then definitely keep looking at this one, because we're going to go through some good tips. But yeah, effectively what we're doing is it's all about social media and attracting more followers. Josh, are you there? Have you managed to join?
I am indeed. Can you hear me?
There we go. Hi, Josh. Yes, thanks for that. So all the YouTube videos, we're going to send them over to everyone today or tomorrow, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yeah, just making the playlist, and then we'll send it all to you. Because at the moment you get a live replay. So at the moment you can see the chat and you get a live replay. That's part of the program. But we're going to put it on YouTube. Unfortunately, we lose the chat because it's just the video. But people like to rewind and fast forward.
Yeah, so it takes a bit of effort to put them on YouTube. Apologies for that, guys, but they will be with you very soon. So keep an eye out on your emails. I know we probably bombard him with emails at the moment. Really sorry for that. That's actually probably my fault, actually. I get a bit carried away with the emailing, so I'm really sorry if we are sending one too many emails. It's not meant to bombard you. It's just if we get a lot of questions about the webinars, what time they're on, what are we doing today. So yeah, I just like to remind everyone of what we're doing. So these are free webinars, and today we're looking more at social media and how you can attract more people to your social media. We all want more followers, and we all want to get more business. So what I want everyone to think about is how you can implement these changes or this advice that we're going to give you with a view to maybe running a promotion in May, towards the end of May or beginning of June. Because if you're not open already, I think towards the end of May or June, we might start to be opening up a bit more. So what I'd like to show you is creating a promotion, if that's okay. So we're going to show you a few things. But first of all, before we get on with things, if you haven't got a Facebook page, then it's first of all, it's quite rare to not have a Facebook page. If you haven't got one, it's really easy to set one up. You can do it within 15 minutes. It's very, very easy. You want to create a good page, and I'm going to show you. Sorry about the screens there. I'm going to show you how to create a good, well-optimized page. So I've got an example here in front of me. Josh, can you see my screen? Okay, is that?
Yep, that
okay?
seems to be all right. It's a little blurry, but we can cope.
Okay, so I'm going to show you how to create the perfect Facebook page. So that's a good starting point, I think. First of all, what I want everyone to check is, do you have your logo at the top left? Do you have a clear logo for your brand? Something that does represent your brand quite well. So the logo for your business, your brand, should be at in the profile picture, effectively. And what I'd recommend everyone to do is have their logo on Facebook and Instagram. Obviously, you can have it on your Google My Business page, Twitter, LinkedIn. Your logo should be the same colors, the same kind of logo, basically the same design across all of the different platforms. And the reason why you need your logo there across all of these platforms is for brand awareness and brand repetition. The more people see your logo, the more they associate that with, for this example, running and physiotherapy and training and things like that. So we need to get repetition of your brand, repetition of your logo. Notice the colors that we're using. Here it matches the same as the color in the logo. So you've got the orange color and you've got the kind of charcoaly gray color. And so moving over to the cover image here, use this cover image to your advantage. So what I'm going to do is just stop screen sharing for a moment, Josh, if that's okay.
Yep.
And I'm going to bring up, I'll bring up a example of a business that is using their cover image as almost like a video. So I don't know if you guys have seen this before. So let me try and show you that.
So I've noticed in the chat a lot of you have said that you don't really use Facebook, you don't really use Instagram. Is there any reason why you tend not to use them? Just out of interest, because obviously with Facebook, there's over 44 million Facebook users just in the UK alone. I think there's 66 million people in the UK in terms of population. So 44 million people use Facebook in the UK, and I think 24 million use Instagram. So these are really, really big numbers, and it's the majority of the population who actually use these social media platforms. It'd just be interesting to see kind of what your concerns are, or if you have tried it and it hasn't worked. Is there any reason why you guys don't tend to use Facebook? And we can come back to that. Matt's just going to show you the cover image.
Yeah, that's good feedback. And I want to kind of draw people's attention to something I said yesterday in terms of Instagram. So we're going to be looking at Facebook and Instagram here, and we're going to look at some of the basics. But I want to make sure everyone, if you weren't in the webinar yesterday, one thing I mentioned And this isn't just me saying it. This is really what I do in my life. I'm almost 40-year-old, and I crack the same joke. Yes, I am almost 40, believe it or not. Now, I use Instagram on a daily basis. Admittedly, I don't use Facebook as much. I'm more of an Instagram type of person. So I'm not young, 20, 20-something, teenager. And I think that is the stigma that is I think that's what is associated with Instagram. Is it's a very young audience, 20s or even teenagers. No, that is not the case. I discover businesses now, local businesses, more on Instagram on my phone than I do on Google. And the reason why I discover businesses more on Instagram is because I follow hashtags on Instagram. So for example, in my local town, which is near Leeds, there's a hashtag Harrogate Indies. And those are local businesses that are posting on Instagram and then adding that hashtag to their posts. And their posts appear on my newsfeed because I follow that hashtag. So if you missed yesterday's webinar, guys, around that, then you did miss out on something there. And I'll try and bring that up now, Josh. Are you getting any answers around the social media bit that we mentioned yesterday? Because that's a good one. It's a good point about why people aren't using.
So some people have said that Facebook's not their market, and that they can't use or don't have the time to use Facebook and Instagram, which is a valid point. Not many business owners do have time to keep up with social media. It can be quite intense sometimes in creating the content. Completely understand that part. Some people have said they use it rarely. Some people have said lack of understanding, concerned about people posting inappropriate content. Trying to attract quality clients is challenging. Completely agree, Paul. But don't worry, we're going to run through everything here, and we're going to show you the tips and tricks that we actually use at InfoServe to generate some quality customers. Just not a fan of social media in general. Don't like the mix between personal and business. Okay, so it seems to be kind of a theme here.
Okay.
Some people use it quite regularly, but don't get any inquiry or business from it.
So I think, Josh, some of the things we're going to do today, are going to show people how you can target and get a better audience and a better quality lead and inquiry through Facebook and Instagram, right? So we're going to be showing that very shortly. So that's interesting. But going back to what I was saying, guys, is that I find businesses now on Instagram, and Josh was saying the same. I didn't know Josh had the same experience, but Josh said yesterday in the webinar that he also finds more businesses through Instagram than anywhere else. So on my Instagram, I've been looking for local businesses in Harrogate I go to the search box at the top of the Instagram there. You should be able to see that, Josh, can't you?
Yep.
And then I click on the tag. There's a button, tags, and in there I can search for example, Leeds independents, Leeds small businesses, Harrogate Indies, etc., etc. What I want everyone to do is go and set up Instagram if you haven't got it already. But once you're on Instagram, search for the local businesses, what people are doing in your local area. So go to your search box, click on tags, and then type in Milton Keynes Indies or whatever town you're in, Manchester small business. So it's usually going to be town and then small business or town indies. So I hope you're hearing that. Okay, indies or independents, and search for that hashtag and follow that hashtag, because once you've done a search for that tag, you can then follow that tag, and then you will start to see posts from small businesses in your area, and those small businesses are creating a post on Instagram and using the tag, for example, Manchester Indies. So they're using the tag on their post, and that's what all of you need to start doing. It really is powerful, and because I follow that tag, I see lots of small business posts on Instagram. I'm not following that because I'm in digital marketing. I'm following that because I want to find I want to see about the small businesses and local businesses. Okay, so in terms of Instagram and Facebook, I'm like I say nearly 40, and I find more businesses through Instagram than anywhere else. So if you're not using Instagram and Facebook, you really should be, because you're missing out on so many potential new customers. And here is a good Facebook page. Setting up your Facebook page is really easy. Make sure you've got your logo and use the cover space, the cover image to your benefit. So you can choose from a photo, or you can create a slideshow. And that's what you can see here, basically. So we've created a slideshow here. So I'm just going to go back to this one here. We've created a static image here. In the static image, use that space to your advantage. But note, just pay attention to the spacing here. Make sure that you check how your page looks on mobile phone, because we've intentionally got the text here on the cover in the middle of the cover image. So there's a lot of padding, there's a lot of space either side. And that's because if you look at it on mobile phone, you'll still be able to read this text, because on mobile phone, obviously, it all shrinks, of course. The window is smaller. So make sure you get any key text in the middle of your cover image right there. Now, so tip number one was make sure you get your logo in there, in your profile picture, and make sure you're using the cover photo to your advantage. Tip number three, in terms of setting up your Facebook page, is make sure to take use of the story feature. So you can create a story for your business, and businesses that have stories get a lot more clicks and a lot more engagement. So I'm just going to show you this company's story here. You can click on it, and there's just a really small bit of information about what they do and who they are. You can actually edit this to your heart's content. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you. You can type in absolutely loads of text in here. Just showing you how much text we can go and type in here. Absolutely tons. And you can style the text as well. So you can even use, those special H1s that we've been talking about for your website. So you can even do it here as well. How will that help you? Well, if you put your keyword in your H1, and I think we're in the middle of building this one at the moment. So, let's say train running. I don't know what we could do here, but we could probably put running training. And if we go H1, there we go. So that's now a H1, and then I would start typing down here, and so on and so on. And so use that space to your advantage. I'm just going to click off here and take off that. Okay, so you've got the story here, which is really important. So your posts are the next bit I wanted to talk about. Creating posts is something that many of us don't enjoy doing. We haven't got the time to create a post every week. If you do have that time and energy to make posts, then do make sure that you're using video and engaging images. Okay, so using stock imagery, so imagery that isn't your own, is probably the thing I would maybe steer clear from. Make sure you've got pictures of you, your staff, your team. Effectively, what I'm trying to say here is that pictures of people get far more engagement when they're in a post. So if you've got a post and there's faces and people in that post, you will get a lot more engagement than posts that don't have pictures of humans, basically. So make sure you've got video, imagery of people within your posts. So you can see here, this particular company is doing a lot of how-to videos, which are really getting some good engagement. They've only just started focusing on their Facebook page, and they're already getting quite a decent amount of engagement. So that is good. But yeah, with your posts that have faces and humans in there get a lot more engagement. Okay, tip number 5, I think we're at now. I just wanted to highlight this here. This is your short name right here. and as it says there, people can search for you and your name using this, and it can be done very easily. So you can change your short name in the page info section. So all you need to do is go to your settings and change your short name. Just go into your settings and change the short name. So I'll just dive into the settings here really quickly, and I'll go to page info. And within here, but I've already selected my page name, of course, so it probably isn't here, but you can change your page name within the page info. And once you've done that, it makes it really easy for people to find you. So keep it short. The shorter, the better. So here's a good example, Run Right Ltd. So keep it short and sweet. Okay, so in terms of building a page for Facebook, you've got all those elements there. Make sure you've got a short name. And I'm going to leave this on screen for those that are watching this back. But if you want to make a note of some of these sizes, hopefully this will help. But your logo size needs to be 180 by 180. And your cover image, the big image at the top of your page, needs to be 820 by 312. That is basically your pixel size. Now, if you need any help with that, then speak to maybe your website designer, because that person's probably a designer and can probably help you with the imaging. Or if you want us to help you, we're happy to help you with that. So make sure you try and stick to those image sizes when it comes to your logo and cover image there. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that on screen there. But one of the other points on the screen is using the messenger greeting. So if you haven't got that already, make sure you're using the messenger function on Facebook. So here it is right here. So, for example, if I wanted to drop them a message, it's really easy for me to do that. But in terms of the messaging function, you can set this up with automatic replies. So when you set up your messaging function, set it up with automatic, hi, thanks for your message. We'll get back to you in 24 hours. It's all really easy to do within your settings. So you just go into your settings tab and you can, you go into the messaging tab in there, and it's so easy. It's so simple. So I'm not going to go through all of this today, but you can set up loads of automatic message settings within here. So have a little play around within your message tab, and then see what you can do. Your Instagram page is always a lot more simple. So make sure in your Instagram page you do have your logo there as well on your Instagram profile picture. So here's an example of where really it should be the logo of the business, not a picture of their venue in this case. So again, I'm going to leave this on screen. For those of you who are watching this back, you've got a pixel size there for your logo size, and then you've got a bit of a description about how you can add a bit more to your bio within your Instagram. But this is all sort of basic stuff, guys. What we want to do is want to move forward here, and we want to talk to you about how you can get more followers. So I'm just going to move forward because we want to go into how you can create a post, how you can target a good audience on Facebook and Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in terms of your content, in terms of your Facebook and Instagram content, it's really important that your content is engaging and relevant. And if you can, make it emotional. So, for example, use a bit of emotion in your posts, like, the current climate, or a story about your business, about how, your business is going through this, uncertain time, or maybe something a bit more positive. But there's always a connection you can make there with your audience. But think about how you can make it. You touch on the emotion side, you touch on the relevant side, and make it about people. Video. Like I say, video is super important. So if you've got good video, get it in your content. I'm just going through some things here, Josh, and I wanted to ask you, Josh, is there anything on here that you feel, in terms of social media, from a marketing point of view, what would you say for creating posts on Facebook and Instagram? Is there anything on there that stands out?
Yeah. Well, as Facebook have said themselves, video. That's all Facebook is, and Instagram. That's how you can make the algorithm work in your favor. So by video, what I mean and what Matt means is live stories on Facebook and Instagram, and uploading videos as well. Videos are more engaging. You are going to get better results from using videos, whether that be in your kind of industry. Think of something niche. If you're a hair salon, have some happy customers, have some haircuts. You can have absolutely anything. Just try and use video more and more and more, and keep it relevant as well. I mean, there's a lot of good points into here, so it's really hard to kind of pick just a couple. But for me, I'd probably say video, relevant, and call to action. Those are the three I'd choose. What about yourself, Matt?
Yeah, I think with the call to action, guys, if you don't know what a call to action is yet, then it's basically just asking people to take action on your post.
Yeah.
So your post might be, you might be running a promotion, let's say, but you want them to take action. So a call to action is saying, like our page, or share this post to XYZ, whatever it may be, but getting people to take action. So having a strong call to action. So I'm gonna go through that now, and how we can create the perfect promotion and basically get more followers on Facebook. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to the webinar really quickly, if that's all right. And what I'm going to do is show you guys how on Facebook and Instagram you can create a post that will really get engagement and followers and attract more people. So I'm just going to load that up now. So we're taking a quick breather, if that's okay, and load up my screens here. Okay. So here we go. So what we've done is we've looked at your page. We've looked at setting up the basics on your page. Instagram's really easy, guys. It is literally just a profile picture and a bit of information. It's like a short bio. Facebook is the one where a lot more work is involved. So I've shown you some key elements there: profile picture, cover image, story, short name. And then going into your settings and making sure that all your settings are up to scratch and ready. So, whether that's in your page info, just have a look through all of your settings, because there's things in here that you will have missed. For example, if I just scroll in here, you've got categories. So I can add categories that help people find my page. Description, all the basic information about address, phone number, opening hours. Have you looked through all of your settings on your Facebook page? Have you set up messaging, auto messaging? Like I say, if people land on your Facebook page and they want to send you a message, make it really easy for people to send you a message. Just before I move on to the promotion thing, I just wanted to highlight one other tab within the settings, and it's called the templates tab. And just within there, if you have a little exploration through this, you can actually add different features onto your page. So I can add a post tab, a reviews tab, video. I can add all these different tabs onto my page. And I can even change the layout of my page by clicking here on edit. And I can change a Facebook pre-made template for my business. So depending on my business type, I can create and select different templates. And so we've just gone for the standard one with all the tabs, reviews, and there's all the tabs there on the left-hand side. That's what I was referring to. So you've got all the tabs coming down here on the left-hand side, and then this is a specific template layout. There's a specific layout here that Facebook have given us. So you can do all that within the back of your Facebook page. But let's say we want to get more followers. We've looked at, really briefly, we've looked at posts. Make sure your posts are engaging. Make sure you've got video and pictures of people. Because, you may, if you watch human beings on their phone and looking at Instagram, people tend to stop when a face appears on their Instagram feed or Facebook feed. Faces and human beings make people look. So do make sure that you're doing that on your posts. But what we want to do now is we want to create a ad, okay? And what I want everyone to write down is the URL, business.facebook.com. So it's business.facebook.com. Because I want you all to go there instead of clicking boost post, because clicking boost post is not the way we would recommend doing Facebook ads. So if you've done Facebook ads before, if you've tried to get more followers or tried to get more engagement from Facebook and more customers, the reason why it may have failed is because you've gone through this method here, the boost post. We recommend not to do that, because we know as well that the audience you get from that, the engagement you get, is a little bit too generic and sometimes not high quality. So we don't do that. We don't boost posts. What we do is we use Ads Manager, Facebook Ads Manager, and that is found at business.facebook.com. And within business.facebook.com, you can set up an ad that's going to really work better for your business. And we're just going to show you a couple of tips here. Now, before you start thinking, is this going to cost me a lot of money? No. All you need to do is put aside £25. That's all I would recommend to get going, to get started. Maybe £25. The more you can afford, the better, of course. The more you put into this, the more you'll get out of it. But you can start with a low budget of £25. So the reason why we're talking about Facebook ads is because Facebook ads gets you found to new people. So new people will see your Facebook page and your Instagram page. Facebook owns Instagram. So your Facebook ad will appear on Instagram and Facebook. And you can get it to appear in many different other places as well, because Facebook also owns WhatsApp. So there's various other tricks you can play with your audience targeting. So we're going to show you that now. But we do recommend running a small campaign on Facebook so that you can attract more followers. And once you're on to business.facebook.com, there's a number of different options that you can select from. And this is why we feel this method is so much better than when you simply click boost.
Yeah. I think it's, sorry to interrupt, Matt. I think it's worth noting that one of the main benefits of using Facebook, Instagram, again, Facebook owns Instagram, so they're two, they're the same company basically. But there's, as we mentioned, 44 million users on Facebook, 24 million on Instagram. There are tons and tons of people using this day in, day out. I think people spend on average of, I think it's like 20 minutes per day on each platform. And that's per person. So the amount of people that you can reach and get yourself in front of is just incredible. As me and Matt mentioned before, this is how I kind of find businesses as well. I've a good kind of like story around this is I'm looking at moving out and getting into a house and then eventually doing that house up. I already follow hashtags and stuff, which is things you can follow on Instagram and Facebook. So then posts come up around that. So what I'm trying to say is I'd follow kitchen design or extensions. And because I'm following those hashtags, I found loads of local businesses that specialize in extensions and kitchen renovations. I'm not in the market to buy yet, but I know in 2-3 years time, when I am looking at a house and I am looking at kind of doing something up, I already know of these businesses already just from looking at ideas. Me and my girlfriend like to send pictures of each other to each other of kitchens and extensions and stuff, and we say, look, what do you like? Do you like the look of this? Do you like the look of that? And we like to have a look at different designs. And we're doing that already. And this is one of the reasons why Facebook and Instagram is so powerful, because you can get in front of your perfect audience. There was some people in the chat saying how there's not your demographic on there, but me and Matt are going to show you right now how they are and how you can target them perfectly.
I cannot.
Audience.
Yeah, absolutely right, Josh. Thanks. You know, and it's a good relatable story that we can probably all relate to. But you know, guys, I'm not on Instagram because I'm in digital marketing. I'm on Instagram because it is the best platform for me to find new services and products. I prefer it to Google, and you know, and I'm of a certain age group that I think many of the people I know are now doing this. So I think I'm probably your typical customer. Maybe I'm sort of getting to middle age, believe it or not. So you know, I'm probably the typical consumer or the type of person that you want to find online. And you know, an example that Josh gave there is builders. He's looking, you know, kitchen renovation. I did the same with with sofas.
Yeah.
A couple of months ago, I bought a new sofa, but I found the sofa that I wanted on Instagram.
Mhm.
All I did is I went onto Instagram one day and looked. I went to the main search, option on Instagram, and I typed in sofa, and I started looking at sofas on Instagram, because some of the best sofa, I could see really cool sofas and really nice interiors, and it really, having all of those images all in one go really helped me find the perfect sofa. If I did that on Google, I'm looking at a list of websites, and I have to go to every single website to find and I have to go through that website. Whereas on Instagram, all the images of all of that product are all on my mobile phone. So convenient, so easy. And I found the one, and I eventually bought from the company that was on Instagram.
People love looking at photos and videos. It's the nice side of your business. You can really show off exactly how good you are doing. There's a bakery in Harrogate. I know this sounds really crazy, but there's a bakery in Harrogate I found recently. I've been living here for 24 years. There's a bakery in Harrogate that I've recently found about during lockdown, that they're still open because they've got a really strong social media presence, and it just looks gorgeous, and I can't wait to go and try it out. But it's without the social media, I would never have found them. I could have probably typed in bakery Harrogate into Google, but people like videos, people like pictures, and the secret to social media is making sure that you have that perfect audience.
You're absolutely right, Josh. You're absolutely right. The only thing I was going to say there, Josh, is that many of our webinar attendees here, many of them are in the trades industry as well. Okay, and many of them are maybe in the accommodation, hospitality, trades, and things like that. So in terms of a bakery, I can completely see, and that's the traditional mindset of, yes, Instagram and Facebook are great for those, but how does it work for a plumber? How does it work for an electrician?
Exactly.
Well, what we're saying is it is really going to work well for you, because getting found on Instagram, even if you're a plumber, a builder, driveway specialist, for example, if we can see the work that you're doing and see examples of the finished work, I'm going to be inspired by the finished article, the finished job. And that's how that journey starts, that discovery starts. And then I look into it, and then I follow you, and then I'm researching, then I eventually inquire with you. But it all will start on Instagram and Facebook, right, Josh? Because you're doing the same. You're moving house, and you're looking at kitchen renovation and builders on Instagram. Okay.
Just for ideas, just to get some design ideas, and share that. Me and Amy have a collective list on Instagram that we're shared in. And we like to send each other different ideas and say, what do you think to this color scheme? What do you think to? There was a copper and zinc worktop kitchen company that we found on there, purely based from Instagram. And Amy was like, what do you think to the copper worktops? It was a bit of a controversial kind of conversation, but I kind of like them now. And I wouldn't have known that if I didn't have Instagram or Facebook. Now, in terms of every single niche business, there is room for you on here, because you can target the perfect people. I saw a comment from Shana, I believe, saying, do you think it also benefit us funeral directors? Well, yes, because it's obviously funeral directors it's not a very it's not a very happy subject, but you can make it a happy subject. You can show people different kind of flowers that you do, or a really nice service that you do. You can show the happy side to it. It's not, and then away from that as well, is you can then target the perfect people that you're after as well. But yeah, which we're about to show you.
Yeah, absolutely right. And if you don't put too much effort into your page itself, so if you're not doing lots of posts every week or every month, don't worry. This is why Facebook ads can trump all of that, and get your business found in a promotion on Instagram and Facebook. So you can get yourself in front of people using Facebook ads. And yeah, obviously, for any business it can work. But what I want to get back to is we were looking at the different types of goals and objectives here. So I just got to a screen. This is the first thing you'll come to when you go to business.facebook.com. When you want to create an ad, it'll ask if you want to create an ad, create a campaign, click go, and this is the first thing that you'll see. And it's where you select your objective and goal. Now, this isn't something you can do in so much detail when you click boost. If you were to go to boost, you can't have this kind of detail and goal setting.
Yeah.
So the most popular ones are traffic and engagement. Those are the big ones that I would say you need to focus in on for this first campaign. What traffic does, if I just click on traffic, it will send people to your website, or even to a conversation on Messenger. I believe you can even start a WhatsApp conversation through traffic. I might be wrong, Josh. Do you want to correct me if I'm wrong? But I think you can even start a WhatsApp conversation. So you can send people to get in touch with you via WhatsApp. And many people are using WhatsApp now. WhatsApp, it's one of the most popular apps out there. So yeah, do consider the traffic one if you want to send people to your website directly. And then you've got engagement. Engagement is all about getting people to see and engage with a post or your page, for example. So it's getting people to engage with a post, like your post or take action, or even getting them to like your page. So what I want to focus on really quickly is traffic, first of all. Because why don't we try a small budget campaign and get people to your website? Because what I spoke about the other day was we've been talking about landing pages on your website, and I created an example landing page. So many of you will remember me creating this in the previous webinar. It is just an example. It's just basic information on here. If you've got a website with InfoServe, you can easily create a landing page on your website. You just simply go to pages and you then click new page. Okay, so that's all you do is pages and then new page. And then you've got the landing page. We've made the page for you. We've designed it for you already. All you need to do is just change the text and the images. It's really easy. But I would recommend, if you're creating a Facebook ads campaign with traffic, I'd recommend pointing that ad towards a specific page on your website that's dedicated to that specific message. So, for example, let's say we create that landing page. So I go ahead and create that landing page. And let's say I'm I'm a trainer for runners. Okay, so I help with injuries. I know this says pet clinic, but just ignore that. So what I'm going to do is offer a free 30-minute consultation. And on your landing page, that is the headline text, free 30-minute consultation. Remember what I said in the previous webinar? Got an injury from running. We will help help you get running again with our free 30-minute consultation. So in your text below the attention-grabbing headline, in that text below, mention the problem and how your solution fixes the problem. That is marketing 101, as they say. That's the basics of marketing. Highlight the problem, but highlight how your solution fixes a problem. Okay, so simply show people how your solution fixes the problem. And so that's what I've done there. Is I've got the headline, and then I've got the problem and the solution to that problem. And I'll go book now. Okay. And this is my landing page. And then obviously I'm going to put the unique selling points here. I'm going to put a bit of description about the service here, and maybe some testimonials at the bottom. But effectively, that is my landing page. And when I publish that, I'll be able to get on that page and get the website URL. I'll be able to get the actual website address. And that's what I'm going to use for the traffic campaign. So I'm just going to run through building a traffic campaign. So I'm just going to go through, I'm going to call it free 30-minute consultation, because that's my that's the offer that I'm coming up with, and just using it as an example. So you can leave all this as it is already set here. But what I want to do is select a lifetime budget. So just here, I'm going for lifetime budget instead of daily budget. And yes, I'm going to go for £25. So £25 lifetime budget. There we go. So this is the key bit that I want to highlight to you. Under a traffic campaign, yes, I thought it was the traffic one, but you can actually send people to WhatsApp, which is incredible. But for this particular example, we're going to send them to our website that we looked at just there. Yeah. So I'm leaving it as it is. The traffic is going to my website. I'm just going to scroll down to audience because that is the next thing you want to focus on is the audience.
Now this, what Matt's about to show you, is the secret to a really successful campaign. Now, a lot of people are saying that they can't get in front of the right people and that ads haven't worked. This is the reason why. 9 times out of 10, the audience, the targeting is the most important part. The creative is the second most important part, but targeting the right people is the most important part on Facebook. Facebook has a lot of data on every single user. People will literally type into their profile what they're interested in, what events they've been to, things that they interact with. This is the secret. So you can type in anything you'd like into the custom audiences there, and you can build a personality, a perfect customer personality right into Facebook.
Okay, so I'm going to just see if I can do this now. Create a new audience, create a new custom audience. Let me just check if I can. Josh, in the meantime, can you load up the same screen and just get ready? Because I think
it is a little blurry.
Can you load up the same screen? Is that okay, Josh?
Yeah.
So you want to just create traffic ad, and then we'll show everyone exactly how you can get into creating a new campaign here, new audience. So just wait for Josh to set this up, and we'll go from there. So yeah, the creating an audience is absolutely critical. And what Josh will show you is, what we're going to show you is how you can select different interests and demographics, but it's really important to make sure you get this one right. I'm just going to dive into the comments while Josh is doing that. So a couple of people asking about the website that I was just on. So what I was doing is creating a landing page on my web editor. Obviously, this is the InfoServe web editor, which you can see here. And I'm creating a landing page. Now, notice that the landing page is appearing in my navigation bar. That I want to hide that because I don't need this to be showing on my main website. By clicking on Pages and then clicking on the cog here, there's a little cog next to the page. I can hide that in the navigation. I can even hide it on different devices, but I'm going to hide it on all devices. So that's now disappeared. So that landing page is gone. Remember, on the InfoServe editor, you can edit it by device. So you can actually show and hide things on devices. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to be going into how you can do this on the web editor. So we've got a great website session aimed for tomorrow. We're going to show you how to do all this. But you can design your website by device. But I'm just focusing on the desktop version here. I've hid the landing page from my main navigation there. So I've hidden that. But once I publish this, I'll be able to get the URL. If I wanted to get the URL now, again, just click on the cog, go to page URL, and it's just my website address / it's landing - page. So, matt.com/landing - page. That is the URL basically. So I can get it now if I want to.
And
so
you can change that as well. So you could put matt.com/consultation. Or anything that seems a little bit more friendly.
Exactly. So I've kept this as a very sort of generic, but I could do, as Josh says, I could do consultation like this. Oops, it's coming up more predictive text. There we go. But consultation, and then there we go. I'm just going to check the URL, and I will just need to change that URL, but it's so easy, consultation. I can't see my screen. There we go.
Yeah.
And I would save that, and it's done. And that's my URL /consult. Really easy to do. So all these pages, these landing pages are already done for you on the web editor. So you just simply click add page, and you can even create other pages, portfolio pages, and so on and so on. Contact us pages. They are already done. We've done it for you, so you can do it very easily and for free. So there's my landing page. I'm going to use that for this campaign. Sorry, Josh, are you?
Yeah, well, I'm all good to go. Just to
Let's
answer.
share your screen quickly, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then we'll go to the audience targeting. Great. So what Josh has done is exactly the same as what I did. He's selected traffic campaign, and if you zoom in there, and then you should be able to start selecting an audience. We may need to do this on the engagement one, Josh, but let's see if you can. There we go, detailed targeting. I wasn't looking at the right thing, but there we go, running. So Josh, do you want to walk through what it is you're doing here and why audience targeting is so important for social media?
So let's go with Run Right, for instance, which is the profile we used before. So we're after people who are interested in running. So what we can do is I've just typed in running, and as you can see on the right hand side, it will show you whether it's an interest or an employer or a job title or schools, for instance, absolutely anything. It will show you on the right hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose running because I want this to be the basis of my audience targeting. So as you can see on the right hand side, there are over 302 million people who are interested in running in the UK. So Matt, could you just mute while you type in? Sorry.
Sorry.
So we've got running, and there's 302 million people who are interested in running. So I'm just going to click running to begin with. Now, what you can do on the right-hand side, I'm just going to have to zoom out a little. There we go. So as you can see, it's still too broad. So it'll show you your audience size. So potential reach, 13 million people. Your audience selection is fairly broad. So we need to get this to not too specific, but we need to get it into the green. So the way you can do this is by targeting people. So let's say I'm a running club. So the first thing I'm going to do is change the age. So I'm going to choose from 18 to probably, I don't know, 35 maybe. So I'm going to limit the amount of people straight away. And then I'm going to choose people who are interested in running. On top of that, what I can do is I can make sure that I'm getting a detailed, a narrow audience, a really detailed, specific audience. So I'm going to click narrow audience. Now, what this does is this gives me another tab. And I can say to Facebook that I want people who have shown their interest as running and must also match another criteria. So on top of that, I could go for anything. So let's have a look at kind of sports and fitness, for instance. So I can say like the sports nutrition. There's absolutely loads here. Sports page admins. So anyone who is an admin of a sports page, sports and outdoors. Or like sportswear. Perfect. So let's say if I was selling sportswear, I could say anyone who's interested in running and is also interested in sportswear as well. Now, as you can see, this is now limit the potential reach, which is good. This is what you're wanting. You're wanting to really narrow down on the people who you are after. So I've chosen sportswear there. Then again, there's 160 million people. That's right. Yeah, 160 million. So again, let's go even further. So let's say we've got running. So I'm just going to type in running again, just to have a look at some ideas. And again, you can really build up your audience here. And you can choose job titles. So let's say, I don't know, let's have a look at professional. So look, you can got professional degrees, professional sports. So let's choose professional sports as well. So I'm wanting people who are interested in running and are also interested in professional sports, but they also must match that they're interested in sportswear. And again, I'm narrowing my audience, and the more narrow my audience and the better I create this audience, the better the ads are going to run. Now, this is one way of creating an audience. You can actually create a kind of a custom audience based on your website, based on who kind of interacts on your website, based on your customer list, people who you already know buy from you. So you can create an audience of people who have already bought from you. And those are the type of people that you're wanting to target again. Again, there's loads of different ways you can choose. You can choose like events. So if there was a running event, for instance, let's say there was a marathon, and I can target people who have clicked going to a marathon. So if there was a marathon in the last 6 months, I can say I want to target everyone who is interested in running, who is also matches an interest in sportswear, but has also clicked going to an event, to a marathon in the last 6 months. I'm really building up my audience there. People who run marathons, who are interested in sportswear and running, are more likely to buy sportswear or running training and coaching. And again, you can really see how deep diving into your audiences you can better target and understand your audience. And that's exactly what we do. So let's have a look at kind of marathons as well, and let's see what that does. So interest in marathons, half marathon, marathon sports, London Marathon, for instance. So let's just do marathons as an interest. There we go. So I'm really getting a good, actually, I will put that in my other box. So I want them to match marathons as well. So anyone that has an interest in professional sports must match sportswear or marathons as well. There we go. So it's getting narrower and narrower. And again, you can exclude people as well. So if I click exclude people, I can exclude people who I don't necessarily want, to help refine my intended audience. So I can, obviously you can't discriminate against people, but you can choose whether, if they're interested in a specific thing, you can choose not to target them. But just to show you these kind of interests, so you've got demographics, interests, and behaviors. Another kind of example, rather than kind of running, for instance, let me just take these off, and let me browse. So let's go to demographics. Let's say life events. Let's say I'm wanting to newly engaged, I don't know, 3 months down the line. And then you can choose that they've recently moved as well. And let's kind of click on relationship and relationship status, and that they are married, for instance. And again, you can really choose your perfect audience. So I can choose all of that. I can say they've recently moved, they're newly engaged, and they're married. And then they also need to match, I don't know, let's kind of click in, let's have a look for design. Let's say they're interested in interior design, and also kind of, let's have a look at jewelry, if that's how you spell it. There we go. Oh, if I can spell, interest in beautiful jewelry.
Just while you're doing that, Peter, really good question. I've tried to put a bit of it, quickly type up a bit in the chat there, but understanding if your audience, are they male, female, what age group, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So Josh, I think we did this before, and we were quite surprised maybe by some of our findings. And
yeah, definitely.
Even if you're a plumber or pest control, everybody might need, or a locksmith, everybody might need those services. So how would you target an audience or understand your audience if you're, say, a locksmith or pest control, for example?
So what I'm planning on doing is showing you exactly who is currently looking at your website through analytics. Now, analytics and insights are gold dust for campaigns like this. You really need to understand your audience. As you said, no one's going to be interested in pest control and that kind of stuff. Obviously, pest control is something that kind of pops up. All of a sudden, you have a pest issue and you need it sorting. But what you can do is you can look at your audiences on your analytics, so you can find out the average age of the people that use your website. You can find out, you've got all of your customer list. You've got all of your customers, so you can find out what type of customers are inquiring with you. You'd know your business. You'll know the type of customers that will inquire in terms of age, gender, where they typically are in life. But the main thing to look at is have a look at your Instagram and Facebook insights. Find out who's interacting with you on there. Have a look at your website. Have a look through your analytics. What kind of demographic, what kind of interests are they in? You'll be surprised at the amount of information Google, Facebook, and Instagram actually provide you on your audiences. And this is exactly how you can create the perfect audience. And try think out the box as well. So, for instance, on kind of what I'm doing here is I'm showing you that you can target people who are married as a relationship status. You can target people who have recently moved or newly engaged, and they also must match that they have an interest in interior design and jewelry. Again, you can really get specific with your audiences, and that's what I'd highly recommend. Have a look at your analytics.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see my screen, Josh. If you stop. So you should be able to, yeah.
I think so,
shared
yeah.
my screen.
Okay, yeah.
But as Josh says, yeah, within your page, guys, within your page, all of you will have an Insights tab. So I'll just go back to that page. This one's just under More, and it says Insights. And within Insights, you can really start to learn about different demographics about your audience. But Josh mentioned Google Analytics there. We haven't done the session on Google Analytics yet, but we are planning on showing you how to use analytics to your advantage. But effectively, what we can do on Google Analytics is start to look at demographics and age. So if I just go to Google Analytics, I can see a split here between male and female, and I can then narrow down by age, etc., etc. So 25 to 34, and I can really start to understand the audience better, as Josh says, through analytics. So we'll be showing you more. But if you haven't got analytics installed on your website, well, you really should have it by now.
Yeah.
Analytics really gives you this insight and this data. So even if you're a plumber, electrician, pest control, everyone's got audience targeting, and this can all be learned through Google Analytics and your Facebook Insights. More on that in future webinars. As you can imagine, there's so much we want to go through with you guys. So please join us every day at 11, because otherwise you'd miss this key information. But use that to your advantage. But what Josh was showing you there was the audience targeting within the Facebook platform. And if I just share my screen again, sorry. Once we go through the audience targeting, once we've done that, if I just close some tabs down, we're going to be in a future session. We're going to be showing you how to create the actual ad itself, so the creative, the image, the video, etc. So we're going to be showing you how to do that. But I'm just going to skip through, because the audience targeting was really the most important part of creating an ad. But in the next screen, when you come to that next screen, this is where you'll be able to select whether you put a single image or video, or a carousel of images, so like a slideshow of images. And this is where you'll be literally creating your ad. So there's a lot more to come, and this really isn't just a one webinar session. We'll be focusing more on the creative very soon. But your ad itself, your creative, should match the landing page. So make sure on your promotion, on your post, your ad, you've got the same headline as what's on your landing page, because people are going to click on that ad and then go and land on this page here. So it needs to match in terms of imagery, colors, text. It all needs to match. So the perfect promotion is having the same colors, imagery, and text on your landing page as what you've got on your post or your ad. it needs to match like for like almost, if that makes sense, so that people click on the ad and then they see the same thing on the landing page and they can then inquire. I mean, there's a lot here to go through, Josh. There's a lot more we'd like to do.
There is.
Unfortunately, we have run out of time, but it just goes to show how we have got a lot more to cover. And so what we'll do is we will be going through how to create the perfect post. We'll start with that tomorrow, but we'll be then going into that website editing and website changing tomorrow as well.
I'd like to cover
really cool topics tomorrow as well, some really useful stuff. Julianne asks, why do you need a landing page rather than, well, even if it's just going to a page on your website, make sure that page on your website, you can edit it. It's absolutely fine if you just want to edit an existing page. Make sure that page matches the promotion, the text on the promotion. So your headline needs to be very similar to the headline on your ad, on your promotion. It really helps conversion. So conversion rates massively increase when you've got an ad, a promotion with the same text as what you've got on the landing page. So that conversion rate goes through the roof when you do that. Of course, you can just run an ad to a page that you've already got on your website, but do just bear in mind that if it's not set up in terms of structure and layout, then conversions will fall. So when I say set up for the right layout, well, we've got the attention grabbing headline at the top here, and we've got a bit of subtext here, and then we've got a clear call to action. It's clear and call to action, and then we've got the unique selling point. So a landing page, we've spent hours, and Google have spent months and months and months working out what is exactly the best layout for a promotion or a landing page. What is the perfect layout? And Google know this, and we know this now, and that's why you work with us for all of the 20 years of experience that we've got. We know exactly what gets the most conversions. Of course, we can just send people to a page. Let me just go to a random page, a home page. Of course, we can just send them here, but that won't work as well as sending them to that landing page that I was just on before. It won't work as well because that landing page is built for conversions, and it's laid out in a certain way, and it's got the headline at the top there, clear headline that matches the ad on Facebook ads. So it just really helps with conversions. But yeah, if I just stop screen sharing, because we have unfortunately run out of time. Really sorry for, we've got so much stuff we want to go through. I hope some of that's been useful. If you do need any help with any of this stuff, of course, we are here and we would love to help you with any of this. Of course, InfoServe do it all. We do everything from social media management and curation to SEO, backlink building to PPC, Google AdWords, website. We do it all. So please do reach out to us if you do need any help with any of this stuff. But we'll have to leave it there. We are back tomorrow for a free webinar, loads of free help coming tomorrow. And we're going to finish off the whole creating the creative, actually making that creative. So the video and the image and how you should lay out that. And then we're going to move over to the website, the landing page. So if you have got a website with InfoServe, you definitely need to tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. because we're going to be showing you a few things regarding your website. Please do follow us on social media. We put most of our investment into LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is our platform. We haven't even covered that in our webinar yet. But LinkedIn is where we get a lot of engagement. We get hundreds of likes on each post. So do follow us on LinkedIn at the very least. So it's linkedin.com/InfoServe. We've got really good following and really good engagement on there if you want any tips. So we're going to leave it at that. Please do share the link with anyone you know that needs our help for these webinars, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thank you so much for your time today. It's been a jam-packed session. Thanks, Josh.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. Again, we are planning on covering Instagram, LinkedIn, everything. We're going to be running everything in depth. But again, tomorrow we're just going to finish off the Facebook and then talk about landing pages, and then we'll go into Instagram, LinkedIn, and so forth. If there's anything you guys want to cover, please let us know. pop it in the chat. If there's anything that you really want us to cover and you really want to learn more about, we're more than happy to help. But again, we are planning on going through absolutely everything in depth as well.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Do join us at 11 a.m. and we'll catch up with you. Now is the perfect time to invest in your digital marketing. Now is the perfect time to create a promotion ready for towards the halfway through May, end of May time. So really start to look at this stuff that we've shown you today, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. for another jam-packed episode of the daily webinar. Thanks so much, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.